In this video, we're going to talk about apple cider vinegar. What are the benefits? What are the myths? First of all, here's a myth, that apple cider vinegar contains a lot of nutrients. It really does not. It doesn't have a lot of vitamin A. It doesn't have a lot of vitamin C. It doesn't have a lot of minerals. What it does have is something even more important. In fact, the real reason why apple cider vinegar works for so many conditions has to do with this one thing. It is called acetic acid. That's an acid. And then the reason why it works is, and this might go against a lot of philosophies out there, is that the body, most bodies that I check in my office over many, many years, are way too alkaline. Now I know that goes against maybe what you've heard, that everyone's too acid, but that's not true. When you talk about pH, you really have to understand that every part of your body has a different pH. So if someone says, "Oh yeah, you're too acid," well, what pH you talking about? The urine? Are you talking about the saliva? The real true indicator of pH for a body should be in the blood, but it's very difficult to test that, because soon as you take the blood out of the body, it oxidizes and it can change the pH right away. So it's very expensive to determine that. So you have to go by symptoms. And so if you ever wanted to really know, just look up and, Google it, all the conditions for too acid called acidosis, and look up for the conditions of alkalosis and all those symptoms, and you'll be able to see which ones you have, and you can determine based on those two factors. So what we're talking about is the blood pH here. Most people have a blood pH which is excessively alkaline. And yes, it's true that your blood should be slightly alkaline, but in this situation, it becomes even too alkaline, okay? And that's why apple cider vinegar works so well, because it changes. If you change the pH of your body just a slight bit, you can create huge effects, because the pH is so important in transporting minerals and allowing enzymes to work, to stimulating the thyroid, to increasing metabolism, all these things. So let's just take a deeper look at this one acid, acetic acid. The pH of acetic acid is very acidic. It's 2.5. That's almost like stomach acid pH. It's way down there. So it's really good for the stomach. People take it for heartburn. And by the way, heartburn, acid reflux, indigestion, that is a condition where your stomach is too alkaline and the valve on top does not close. And I know people say it's too much acid. No, it's not. In fact, if you have acid reflux or heartburn, just take some apple cider vinegar and see how much better you feel. You'll feel wonderful, because the valve will start closing on the top and the acid won't start regurgitating up through that valve. So it's good for GERD, acid reflux, indigestion, okay? And as you age, especially over the age of 50, 60, 70, your pH in your stomach starts going lower. I'm sorry, it goes higher and higher and higher. So it becomes more and more alkaline. So you need more acid as you age to be able to digest protein and absorb minerals. Because if your pH is too alkaline, which most people have a problem with too much alkaline, they can't absorb calcium. They can't absorb minerals like they used to. So what happens, especially with calcium, is calcium starts building up in the soft tissues throughout the body. So you have the soft tissue calcification. You see the people that are getting older. They're getting stiff. They have arthritis, bursitis. They get calcium developing on the eyes as cataracts, on the joints as arthritis, on the nerves as neuritis, on the kidney as kidney stones, on the gallbladder as gallstones, on the teeth as tartar. That could come from a pH problem. It's an alkalosis. It's systemic alkalosis, which is your whole body is too alkaline. One of the things that I like to do as well is make sure they're taking the fat-soluble vitamins to transport that calcium out, like vitamin D and K2. But in this video, we're going to talk about the pH piece of this thing. Now, what causes this alkaline state? It has to do with this in this book. It's called Ciba Encyclopedia of Endocrinology, Volume 4, Frank Netter, MD. This is one of the main books that is used in medical schools, and it's a great physiology book to help you get some of the facts in how the body works. So right here, if you look on the page that talks about high cortisol, that's the stress hormone. High stress, high cortisol, causes alkalosis. It makes your body too alkaline.